Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Amanda.
I'm Sadie.
This is 40 Acres. Today we're going to be talking about
Baby chicks.
We're going to be talking about everything you need to know about baby chicks. Things they eat, what they need, and a little bit of things in between.
Chicks are very cute. They're also little troublemakers, so make sure you know what you're getting into before you buy.
I think we'll be able to help you today with this video, don't you, Sadie?
Let's get this started.
For the most part, chicks are pretty easy to care for, but you want to make sure you have everything ready ahead of time before you bring the chicks home. We keep our babies in a playpen. I put a board with a mesh top we made out of hardware cloth on the top of it to keep predators out, or dogs that like to knock over water bowls. Bear. What we usually use for the bedding is pine shavings. We buy it from our local feed and tack store, but you can really use anything from paper towels to even puppy pads, and I've used that time and again. But if you do decide on using pine shavings, you need to elevate the food and water bowl on a piece of wood like we did here, but any way you do it, you need to make sure that the babies can reach it. After the babies hatch, what I like to do is make sure that each of them knows exactly where the water is by gently dipping the beak of each chick individually into the water. I know it looks a little silly, but you want to make sure that they know where the water comes from. I also like to use Hydro Hen or chick electrolyte for the first 3 days, or really hot days like we're having right now. The chicks are okay to stay in the incubator for 3 days max, but I like to take them out after about 24 hours or until they're pretty fluffed up.
We use a brooding plate instead of a heat lamp because we have a wooden barn, and ain't nobody got time for a fire. We adjust ours to be slanted so the chicks will decide how hot or cold they want to be.
I like to use Nutri-Drench when the chickens are babies, and I especially like to use it for yen. So I go ahead and put some water in the syringe like this. Then get a little bit out. I like to dilute it with some electrolytes and some water. So I pull back on the syringe while I'm adding a little bit of Nutri-Drench into this to make a nice little dilution. I don't do it straight. And this is about the color and consistency I like to see with my Nutri-Drench mix. I especially like to do this with Yen. Yen is my crossbeak. So Yen has a crossbeak, a scissor beak, as what some would call it. And I didn't notice this until she was a couple weeks old. As you can see, she's really curious, really sweet, used to being handled by now. So with scissor beak, they have a really hard time eating, so you have to hand feed them. I thought at first that it was going to be a big deal, and at first we thought about putting her down, but I thought, hey, if you can survive this, I'll give you a chance. So we've worked together and we've come up with some little strategies to help with Yen. With Yen, like I said before, I have to have some special food. I can do a video later of how I make her food, but basically I keep it in stock like this. I've only been doing this for about a week, so I'm still new to this, but I've learned a lot online from what I need to do, and so I make it and I use some little bit of olive oil to make some little torpedoes that I feed to her. And I always make sure that I have some water on hand. So she gets really excited about this. So I just kind of hold her neck a little bit and dab a little bit of water in there and between each mouthful. Let it dribble in there. There you go. She doesn't like having her head messed with. You got to make sure that she's swallowing in between this. So that she doesn't aspirate any of this. So I can feel her crop getting full, but you don't want to fill her up on just water. So I'm going to show you how I do her little torpedoes. I open her beak up, just smash it in, and she eats it. She prefers them in little balls. And I make sure she swallows. And in between every couple, I give her some water. Just like that. So, as you can see, chicks can be fun and exciting. And with little time, effort, and basic knowledge, they can be pretty easy to take care of as well. Some may require a little more attention than others, but overall, it's a fun experience for the entire family.
If you like what you just saw, make sure to like and subscribe to 40 Acres. That's 4 and a D acres. Thanks for watching!